All right, grab a piece of paper and a pen. We are going to draw. I'm going to make stuff like this, but you got to draw a circle about this size. We need room on the edges to write stuff on the outside. So it doesn't have to be black in the middle. We don't want it to be, but we need a border. Bam. Okay, so draw your circle. Cool. Next step, we need, could either be little lines. I'm going to use tiny little circles. These are just dots, right? We're going to, oh no. We're going to put one, we're going to first do 4. One at the top, one at the very bottom, one on the very right, and one on the left, right? Dividing the circle into 4. And now in each of these, we're basically making a clock. We need 2 dots in between each dot, so evenly spaced. So there's gonna be one here and one here. Doesn't have to be perfect, but that'll give us 12, like a clock. Right, boom, boom. No! All right, 1 done. And again, doesn't have to be perfect, just about right. So we're just doing 2 dots. We can do little lines in between, I knew it, in between each of our first 4 dots. Okay, I'm almost done. How are you guys doing? If I'm ahead of you, you can always pause. If you're a slow circle drawer or a slow dot drawer, not as fast as Mr. Ben, it's okay. All right, cool. So now what are we going to do? We are going to write numbers, but we're not just going to write like a clock. This is not that. So up here, we're going to write a 1. I'm going to make it bigger, so don't just draw until you see that looks good. Make it black. Okay. Could do hook pad colors. Maybe I'll change them later. Okay, 1 is at the top. What's the, if we play a 1 chord, like with our left hand, what's the other number? 5, right? If we play a 5 chord, what's the other number? 2. If we play a 2 chord, what's the other number? 6. If we play a 6 chord, what's the other number? 3, if we're just playing 2 numbers, that is, like we do in our left hand a lot. Okay, if we play a 3 chord, what's the other number? 7. Okay. Boom. This is awesome. We're gonna leave, not the video here, we're just not gonna do the left side yet, because we wanna explain what we can use this for. Okay, let's just start without putting any letters on. We're gonna go this way. If we have a key, like the key of G has 1 sharp, what do you think that sharp is? Which number in the key of G is on a black note? It's 7. The next key that has 2 sharps, you don't need to know, but I'm gonna tell you you need to know, just not right now. It's the key of D. D has 2 regular numbers on black notes. What do you think they are? 7 and 3. And when there's 3 sharps, that's the key of A. There's, guess which numbers are on black notes? 7, 3, and 6. Getting this pattern? If there's 4 sharps, that's the key of E. 4 notes will be black in order to play the major scale with regular numbers. Those will be 7, 3, 6, and 2. You can reorder them and say, okay, it's 2, 3, 6, and 7. But this circle is how we figure all this out. And it's awesome. All right, if there's 5 black notes, that's the key of B. They're going to be on 7, 3, 6, 2, and 5. If there's 6 sharps, there's only 5 black notes. So all these numbers, 7, 3, 6, 2, 5, and 1, will be sharps. F sharp is the key there. The 7 will be called a sharp but it'll actually be a white note. We'll be calling the F E sharp, because we can't have the letter F be 7 and the letter F, even if it's with a sharp, be 1. We can't have the same letter on two numbers and no E at all, right? So that's how that works. But look at that. If you can remember 7, 3, 6, 2, 5, 1, and you remember how we got it. What's the other note in the 1 chord? What's the other note in the 5 chord? It's predictive power. Okay, now we're gonna write more. Oh, we can do, I'm not gonna do it, but you can do an arrow around from the 7 and with like little arrows along the way so you can see that it's going this way. And you could label that arrow which notes are sharps, which is basically which notes are black notes, except for that time in F sharp where 7 is actually a white note. Okay, so now though, we're gonna write some letters in. In the key of C, what is 1? It is C. This is gonna tell us how many sharps. When I just said, okay, 1 sharp is G, like that, we're gonna have an arrow in here that tells us that. So what's D in, what's 2 in the key of C? Just count on your fingers, C, D, the next one, right? 2. What's 6? Count it. C, D, G, now you gotta go to A. No, sorry, C, D, E, F, G, now you gotta go to A. A is 6. 3 is 1 after 2, which was D, so it's E. And 7, you can just count backwards. What's 1 before C? It's B. And then here, we can put this in there, F sharp. And F sharp is really gonna be sure. All right, we're gonna have a flive. This one is the only one that'll have 2 names. It'll have sure and flive. It'll have F sharp and G flat. Okay, so now we have a little arrow going around this way, right? And in the letters, and that's telling us how many sharps there are. This one has 0. This has 1, 2. I wrote 6. 3, 4, 5, 6. Right, what's that mean? It means when we're not in the key of C, when C is no longer 1, but G is 1, or D is 1, or we change keys, we change where 1 is. A is 1, E is 1. You know, we can put 1 anywhere. And when we do that, we have a different number of black notes that we need to use in order to get the same sound. And in here, this is telling us how many black notes there will be. And again, F sharp has 6 sharps, but there's only 5 black notes. Okay, but 0 sharps, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So now, without doing the flats, which is over here, we got everything we need to know. How many sharps are in A? And which numbers are gonna be on the black notes? Well, you just go, okay, 0, 1, 2, 3. A is gonna have 3 sharps. So now you just count 3 numbers starting from 7, not starting from short, starting from 7. You just go, okay, 7, 3, 6. Okay, A has 3 sharps. I can reorder them if I want and go, they're on 3, 6, and 7. That's where my black notes will be. Awesome. Let's do 2 more. We'll save the left half for another video. What about the key of B? How many sharps and which numbers in the major scale will be on the black notes? We start here and we gotta remember this is 0, not 1, right? In terms of sharps. So we go, okay, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. B has 5 sharps. So if I see a key signature that says 5 sharps, and it's a major song, it sounds happy, we know it's the key of B. And then which numbers are gonna be on black notes? Well, we just use the same number we came up with, 5, and we count from 7 until we've said 5 numbers. So let's just count first so we know where to stop. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're stopping at the 5. All right, 7, 3, 6, 2, and 5 are going to be our black notes. The last thing we're doing in this video, let's reorder them. So when we're playing from 1 to high 1, that list is easier to use. What's the lowest number in that list? 2, then 3, 5, 6, and 7. Right? So you always know that in the major scale, neighbors, which are our neighbor numbers? 3 and 4 are neighbors, and 7 and 1 are neighbors. If you use that, in a way, you don't need this because you'll figure out what's on black notes. But you might make mistakes. If you use both, you're in really good shape. If you know ahead of time, let's just take the key of D, so it's a little easier. It has 0, 1, 2 black notes. They're going to be on 7 and 3. If you go into it knowing that 7 and 3 should be black notes, and you also keep in mind that the only neighbors are 3 and 4 are neighbors, and 7 and 1 are neighbors, your chances of making any mistakes are, low, really low. But you still need to practice, and so you don't need to think about it. But that is half of, this is called the circle of fifths. Let's write that in, and then we'll call it a day. Circle of fifths. And what it does is it helps us not have to memorize all this information, right? We can just use this to figure out that B has 5 sharps, or D has 2, and exactly what numbers are going to be on black notes. We don't have to memorize everything one by one. You just have one circle, and we understand, okay, if I go from 7 to 1, I'm saying which numbers are going to be sharps. If I go from C to F sharp, I know how many sharps are in each key. Pretty cool. Alrighty, later.